I am so sorry. I have had my microphone turned off this entire time. I do apologize. uh, Back to New England 36-17 over Pittsburgh to go to the Super Bowl. And Green Bay Atlanta 44-21 over Green Bay. Atlanta's number one offense in the NFL made Green Bay's defense look ridiculously silly. Green Bay couldn't stop a nosebleed. They made too many mistakes. They missed a field goal. Bukowski with a fumble down the goal line. And nothing seemed to go right for the Packers offensively. They dropped passes. And the run game was stifled. And in the end, Atlanta had their way with Green Bay. And they're going to their second Super Bowl since 1999. They'll eye their first championship in franchise history. It also ends the era for the Georgia Dome, as today was the last day the Atlanta Falcons played in the Georgia Dome, and the new stadium being built across the street, right next door to the Georgia Dome. So it was a great game by Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has waited a long time. He's been through a lot in his career. He's missed the playoffs quite a few times. I think 4 times if I'm not mistaken. He missed the playoffs the last 3 years. 8-8 season last year. Has heard that he's a playoff choker and everything. And today he finally put that all out to bed with a huge game, and Julio Jones proved to be the best receiver in the NFL. As the Green Bay Packers couldn't stop him. They didn't know how to stop him. Maybe it's time for a change. Dom Capers has been successful for many years as a defensive coordinator. Maybe his time has run out with Green Bay. And New England rolls over the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-17. Here's the truth, y'all. If Kansas City and Houston both have great defenses, if both teams had quarterbacks, and the now Las Vegas Raiders could keep Derek Carr healthy, those are the 3 biggest threats to the Patriots for the Super Bowl. There's just no mistaking about it. Houston and Kansas City's defenses can keep them in the games. They are good enough to win Super Bowl championships, but they both lack a difference maker at the quarterback position. That's just the truth. But Kansas City is a lot better at special teams than Houston. Houston's good in the kicking game and punting. Kansas City can return punts, return kicks with Tyreek Hill. They can make plays all over the place. They got a little bit more playmakers than Houston, a little bit more experience playmakers-wise than Houston. But Houston has a monster defense. It's going to get J.J. Watt back. They're going to get Kevin Johnson back. They're going to have David Clowney fully healthy next year. Of course, they're fully healthy this year, finally. So I really look at it as 3 teams and the Patriots. It's a 4-team conference. And tonight, the Steelers, to me, they proved just how not elite they are. They're a very good team. They got 3 dynamic players, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. All 3 could not do anything tonight. Bill Belichick did a masterful job taking away Bell, although Bell got hurt. And Antonio Brown was just nowhere needed. Was just not even heard of all night long. And it hurt the Steelers. It cost them big time. So it's going to be Atlanta and New England in the Super Bowl. My thoughts are, it's going to be... I want to see Atlanta win the first Super Bowl. The fans have been waiting a long time for this. And, it'd be nice to see somebody dethrone the Patriots. I was kind of hoping somebody like Kansas City or Houston would do it. It didn't happen. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Belichick and Dan Quinn. Can Dan Quinn put together a defensive game plan to get enough pressure on Brady? Because when you watch the divisional round game between Houston and New England, Houston forced Brady to have one of his worst games in his career, 47% completion percentage, and most of that is attributed to pressure. Tonight Brady had all the times that I thought Brady could do his laundry in the pocket. He literally had all night. If you don't get pressure on Brady, you got no chance. You do. You got no shot. Get Brady off a spot, get heat on him, and make tackles in the open field. I think Atlanta is probably the best equipped team of these playoffs to beat New England. They got a good run game. They got two dynamic running backs. They can do it with or without Julio, because they got playmakers. They got Mohamed Sanu on the other side, and Gabriel, and Matt Ryan is an MVP quarterback. Their defense isn't that bad. The red zone defense is going to be the difference, I think, in the Super Bowl. So I think it's going to be New England. I think New England's going to win it, even though I'm rooting for Atlanta. Not trying to sound biased or anything. I'm not an Atlanta fan, for the record. But I would like to see someone new win the Super Bowl. But I just think that red zone defense is going to come back to haunt them. And I think New England's experience and Belichick's experience being there, done that. I think it's going to be New England over Atlanta. I want to say it's going to be, I think it's going to be 34-31 New England. I think it'll be a close game. It's going to come down to the final minutes, and I think whoever makes the mistake, or the crucial mistake at the crucial point of the game, that's going to be the difference. But I think both teams are excellent offensively. They're very good defensively, except for Atlanta's red zone defense. They're 28th in the league in red zone defense, but they play very well in these playoffs. They've got a long time to get ready for their first Super Bowl. It's in Houston. So we'll see who comes out on top. I do think this game tonight puts the bed on the MVP case. It's Matt Ryan. Tom Brady was great, but you saw against Houston, he looked awful. And in fact, if Houston had a better quarterback, they probably would have won that game. And we're probably talking about Houston going to the Super Bowl instead of New England. It's just the truth. So I think it's going to be New England winning yet again another Super Bowl, but I'd like to see Atlanta win it. Tragedy has struck Major League Baseball as Yordano Ventura, the superstar of the Kansas City Royals starting pitcher, 25 years old, my age, passed away in a car crash today. And in a separate incident, Andy Marte, former Major League Baseball player, also died, 33 years old, in the car crash. I just wanted to get his name right. I do apologize for the little break. My prayers and my thoughts go out to their families. It's hard to lose a loved one. The baseball community will miss them. And I just want to pass my condolences to the families of these two young gentlemen whose lives were unfortunately and tragically cut short. And after what happened with Jose Fernandez, you just don't want to hear about this kind of news. You really don't. Sports is the part of life where we get away from everything. We leave reality for 3 hours where we brings us together. It's sports to me is more powerful. It's the most powerful platform in life because it brings us together. And when you hear news like this, it tugs at the heart. It hurts, and I just want to pass my condolences to their families and the the Kansas City Royals. So, Yordano and Andy will be missed. So on this night, I say have a good night, and I hope everybody had a good weekend. And thank you for listening.